Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 171 of Classic Elite. My name is Scott. I've got Dustin with me. What's going on, man?
What did the vampire killer say after Simon Belmont insulted Dracula?
I do not know.
Oh, snap.
Okay, there you go. There's a bit of a reach. Did you come up with that one yourself?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
That was for Kevin.
Oh, Pair Nerds?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, he said he was having trouble with dad jokes, so.
Oh, okay. I didn't read his emails. I just saw that, or it was in his last email he said he's having trouble with dad jokes. Because we got some fan mail from him. Okay. I'm remembering that someone commented saying they needed help with dad jokes. So, yeah, man, how has the week been for you?
Great. It went pretty fast, actually.
We're recording a day late because you did your duty and filed your taxes yesterday.
Yes, I had to render under Caesar.
How'd that go?
Horrible. It was
Really?
like a 3-hour experience. I went to H&R Block.
Okay.
And it's the second year in a row where my wife and I had to like point them to the screen, like where to click, how to use their software. Yeah, it was horrible.
I do it myself with online software.
Yeah, Kim and I will be doing that next year.
Yeah. I mean, with like with my investments, they're pretty small. You know, they're just like for a retirement, so just contributing like to my IRA and then writing off like house stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like kind of it, you know? Like I don't have a lot of medical expenses to write off, and
right.
There's not a lot of business expenses I can write off, so yeah. That's kind of it for me.
The only thing that made it a little bit difficult was last year I was a full-time student, a part-time worker, and a full-time worker. All in the same year.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, I'll just have the one W-2, and so it'll be pretty easy for me.
From this point forward, it should be easy.
Nice.
Easy peasy.
Cool. So, yeah, I have not started my tax stuff yet, but I've got a couple months, so we will see. That may be, depending on how my return looks, that might be the bump I need for the arcade machine I've been dreaming of. We will see. So, yeah, I mean, I've had a pretty decent last week.
It's already February.
It's already February, and we're like days into February. It's not like February 1st, you know?
Yeah.
The first week of February is over.
That is crazy.
I know. I still feel like it's acceptable to say Happy New Year, but it's not, you know?
Yeah. I still feel like, hey, it's the same day that Back to the Future. But that was like
6 months ago.
forever and a day ago.
Yeah, so... yeah, man, I guess I haven't done a lot of exciting stuff. I'm trying something out that I've never done before, and when I am done, this will take a couple of months, but when I am done with this project, I will have some stuff to talk about on the podcast. So there's a little teaser for a couple months from now.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's, I got a rant, man. I've come across something that pisses me off. So, one of the things, speaking of like pissed off people, the internet got really, really mad at the Fine Brothers. Did you follow any of this at all?
No.
Do you know who they are? They're the guys that do like the kids react or like elders react.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm aware of the videos, but I didn't know that's who did it.
Yeah, they basically, in a nutshell, came out with this idea called React World.
Okay.
And this would basically be like a multi-channel network, kind of like how we're with Full Screen or whatever, which incidentally they are too, so Full Screen's getting dragged through the mud right now quite a bit, but deservedly so. But anyways, so what they would do is they would give you like logos, templates, and promote your videos, and then you could make their brand of React videos and profit share with them, like franchising almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the internet got fucking pissed at them about doing this because it looked like a bad deal. But on top of that, they also filed trademarks for Kids React, Elders React, a couple of other series that they do.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them was just for the word React. And they have, in the past, gone and copyright flagged a lot of people for having the word React in their title. So
Okay.
they ended up making a lot of people mad because it's so broad, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody would have a good competitive similar show, they could just shut them down, right?
Yeah.
So it made a lot of people mad, and like the internet just exploded. It was pretty entertaining to watch, and I don't know, that kind of wrapped me up this last week. Like there were some live streams on YouTube that were just live counters because there's real time counters for subscriber numbers that you can access for like any channel, and it was just a live stream of watching them lose subscribers on both their channels.
Holy cow.
They went from over 14 million subscribers
Uh-huh.
to well under 13 or no, well under 14 million, where I think they've lost like 3 or 400,000 subscribers from like one of their
Man.
channel. Like insane. Like in one day they lost like 100,000 or something.
That's nuts.
Like, so a lot of people got frustrated, and then they ended up retracting everything. They said, okay, we're not going to do the trademarks anymore or whatnot. So the internet felt like they won. But it was certainly, it was kind of cool because you and I are, like, we know YouTube, but this isn't our job. You know, this is a hobby for us.
Right.
So we don't get affected as dramatically when we get bullshit copyright claims on our videos that are very clearly fair use.
Yeah.
But some people really, really get screwed over by this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it made national attention. So it kind of shed some light on how broken the YouTube system really, really is as far as giving you, like, you're guilty until proven innocent on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's all done through algorithms and bots, and like that Doug Walker guy, one of his channels got completely like shut off, and he spent like 3 weeks trying to get a hold of somebody at YouTube and couldn't, and was really diligent about contacting them. He had like 3 or 400,000 subscribers on this channel that was shut down, and made a video, and magically his shit got turned back on. So once he complained publicly, then it got their attention. But he tried to go a private route, the more professional route, and couldn't. It was,
Man, so you got to complain and spotlight people in order to get things done.
right. You got to go to Twitter, and hopefully you have a following. Because if it would happen to us, we'd be screwed. You know what I mean? Like, we might get 3 retweets.
Yeah.
You know?
If we're lucky.
Yeah, right. So there'd be nothing that we could do. Like, we just have to start Classic Elite with a 2 after it. You know, like something stupid like that.
Classic leader.
There you go.
And then when that gets shut down, classic leadist.
That's right. We got like 9 strikes in our pocket right now. We can keep the same name, right?
Right. There you go.
So, but it was just really interesting to follow that, and it sent me down another YouTube rabbit hole of looking at other reaction videos.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that some of these are enormous channels, and they're really, really crappy videos. But there are some channels that are really, really good. There's this husband and wife from a channel called H3 Productions,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just like gut-bustingly funny. Like it was hilarious. So I would recommend checking out H3 if you're having a bad day.
Oh man, there's a YouTube channel called, I think it's Electro Boom,
Okay.
where this guy just deals with electricity. But I saw it on Facebook. It was a compilation of all the times that he hurts himself, which is constant apparently. But it was like a 5-minute video. I laughed so hard at one of the parts of this video, I started dry heaving.
Really?
Yes, I was.
You'll have
It
to
was
send me a link
hilarious.
afterwards.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be interested in that. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as the YouTube space is concerned, it was just something really interesting to follow. So, That caught my attention. Well, if you didn't have any cool work stories or any funny kid stories, you want to jump into the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first up, Dustin, there was something.
Oh, wait. I
Go.
will say one thing. Solomon learned the word podcast.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was coming in here and he's like, "You podcasting, Daddy? You podcasting?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I am."
That's awesome.
Get out.
Shh. The alarm system's bad enough. I don't need you in here. So yeah, the first thing in the news, did you put this here?
Yeah, the retro game survey.
Okay, so what is this?
It is something one of the forum guys at the Retro League put up, and it's basically just a survey on the. They want to kind of get a grasp of the retro game community.
Okay.
It asks you like, what's your age? About how much do you make a year? How do you feel about like sealed games? How do you feel about graded games? How often do you get to play games? What modern systems do you own? Like,
Damn.
do you? Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. But I thought it was interesting, so I thought we might want to spread that around. And if you play retro games,
Yeah, I've got you've got a link to the actual Google document here. But I'll try to dig up. You said it's from the Retro League forums, right?
yeah, I pulled it from their Facebook page.
I'll try. Oh, okay. I'll try to link the forum thread if I can to get them their traffic that they definitely deserve. So, well, cool, man. That's pretty badass. You said that you might be making a guest appearance over there, right?
Yeah, I'd like to.
So now it's on air, Dustin. So you got to follow through.
Right. It's, we've all been healthy for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop. Somebody's going to get some sort of infection eventually.
Well, yes, naturally. So yeah, well, that's cool. So definitely go to the retroleague.com and check out their stuff. Those guys are great.
Yeah.
And then this didn't make a lot of news, but it caught my attention. So there was a dude on Reddit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he went by the name of Android L, I think. And he put up this quote unquote cheat bot for CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offense on Steam. And what it would do is it promised to give like unlimited ammo and like different camera angles and like all this kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What it did was it flagged, it would trigger the cheat detection from Valve and get you banned immediately for cheating. And the guy on Reddit had, like, at the time that I read the article, like 5,500 downloads of this thing with, they're estimating like over 3,000 bans or something. And they would put on Reddit like people complaining about this, and like some people would stick up for it. They're like, "Oh, awesome cheat," but they nabbed me. When it was designed to weed out the trolls or the cheaters, I thought it was really great. Cool. Like, it's cool to mod a game, change it around, do some cool stuff. But in a competitive setting, like, why are you cheating?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I like to get good at stuff.
Yeah, same here.
And
I've never understood why you would do that, because any wins you get shouldn't feel good because you didn't earn them, and you're just ruining the experience for the other guy. Like,
right?
That's dumb.
What do you get? Like, what do you get out of that? Like, I just don't understand. And is it a situation where they feel like they have to cheat because everybody else is?
Maybe so.
Where it's a slippery slope in that perspective.
Yeah.
Like baseball players in the 90s were like, look, everyone was doing it. Well, I mean, even before then, but that's what their excuses were in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to keep up. So, that's awesome. You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember the story about Game Developer Tycoon?
Oh, yeah.
Where
it would, like, if you pirated it, it would bork the game and...
Well, no, it would always make you fail eventually because of piracy.
Yeah.
So you could never win if you had the pirated version.
That was it.
And it was always with piracy that they would, like, brick your game.
And then they went to like the forums of the game developer
Yeah,
complaining about it. Like, well, it's called karma.
dumbasses. Yeah, right. I, I I know those are like two different things, but it just felt like a cool gotcha moment.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of it. Even though there are different situations. So I will have a link there. I saw it on Engadget of all places. I know that's kind of a shitty news site. Like they do a lot of like the promotional ads. They're basically Huffington Post of technology.
Oh no.
Like it's normally garbage, but Veronica Belmont works there, and I like her. She guests on a lot of different podcasts that I like to listen to. So I follow them on Google Plus. They have some interesting stuff from time to time.
I'm a big fan of her because she's pretty and her last name is Belmont.
Right. I'm a big fan because she has the Twitter handle at Veronica. Like she got her first name.
Man,
that's pretty badass. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, what if I had at Scott? Fuck yes.
Scott free.
That might be available. I'm gonna look for that. So yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet, pretty clever.
Oh crap, we're live, man. You got to go now if you want to get that.
Well, dude, no one's watching.
Everyone is watching, and they're all named Scott. All right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Steam out of nowhere today launched a big sale.
Huh?
Have you had a chance to see this at all?
Nope.
So I got a question for you. It's called like the Lunar New Year sale.
All right.
Does Lunar New Year mean anything to you?
That sounds like the title of a new JRPG.
Ooh, that would be good. Like, I didn't know if it was like Chinese Zodiac or something, Like if there's a culture that has a new year that starts now based around the moon somehow. Or if they've just like made it up.
Lunar New Year. I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
Yeah, me. I figured that you might know. I think you and I'd be a pretty good trivia team.
Mm-hmm.
So I like using you as material for the show instead of going right to Google and finding out myself. But we're stuck, so we'll have to go there. But it's cool. I love Steam sales. I don't participate in them that much anymore because my library is ridiculous, but
no.
Like, there's always new PC gamers coming online. So good for them, Like, they get the original Tomb Raider for $5 or something. You'll get Skyrim for $5.
So lucky.
Like,
wait, did I pay for Tomb Raider? I don't remember.
I think mine might have came with my graphics card. I might have gotten Tomb Raider and BioShock. Like, I got some good games. I thought I got 2 really good games with my graphics card. I don't quite remember. That was a couple years ago.
I feel like Tony hooked me up with a code for that. Now that I think about it.
He may have. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there a game that you've got on your wish list or anything that you're hoping goes on sale and never does?
I have games in my wish list. I don't open Steam often enough to know what they are. Okay. I think Neverending Nightmares. I think that's in my wish list. And it's actually gone on sale a couple of times. I'm like, I don't feel like spending like $9 right now.
Yeah. The only one that comes, I know I have 4 in there. I can't think of what they are, except for Mega Man Legacy Collection. I don't think we'll ever see that go on sale though.
No, Capcom needs that money.
Yeah. But I might just pick it up, or maybe my brother, if you're listening, Mark, hook me up. Maybe he'll just want to help me out and buy me Mega Man. So we'll see.
He's too busy making Twitter account @ScottFree.
Oh yeah, what a jerk. And I did have this is news related, but my buddy John was in town last weekend, and I had him try the Steam controller for the first time.
All right.
He's like,
how'd that go?
Well, it was just weird. It's just a weird experience to use a Steam controller. So it was just interesting to see someone else's reaction for the first time. I forget what I had him play though. It wasn't cursor related. I think it was like Portal or something like that. Yeah, it was Portal Portal 2, actually. So, next up in news, I know you're not going to care about this, Dustin. I'll get through it kind of quickly because I don't fully understand it, but it's big news in the Hearthstone world. They're doing what's called formats. So I guess now I'm going to be paraphrasing from what I learned from day 9 here.
Okay.
So just disclaimer to everybody, if I get something wrong here, I'm just going off of what I heard from day 9. But my understanding is that Magic the Gathering, right, that game's been around for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
So they are constantly coming out with cards, right? So what they do is they have certain segments or formats where you use certain cards so that not everybody is using all the cards. Because if you just start Magic, like, think about the amount of money it would take, the thousands of dollars it would take to acquire all of the cards in Magic.
Yeah.
So what they do is they only allow you to use, like, the last couple of expansions or whatever for one of the segments. Okay. But if you've been in Magic for a long time and you have a huge, you've kept up with it, then you could enter and play against people that are in that same boat. So they kind of segmented off the way that Dungeons and Dragons. I shouldn't say Dungeons and Dragons. I'm making an assumption there. Day 9 didn't say that, so I retract that. No Dungeons and Dragons comparisons. But basically, Hearthstone's running into this issue, but they have digital scarcity, right? So it's fake. Like, they could flip the switch and make cards available for free if they wanted to.
That's a great name for a band.
What?
Digital scarcity.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That is good. So, basically what they're doing in Hearthstone is they're having a standard format, which only lets you go back with cards released in the last 2 years.
Okay.
And a wild format, which opens up all the cards that have been released. So if you're a new player, you could just play standard and not have to deal with some of the, like, really powerful old cards. Because some of them are just ridiculously powerful, and it's not really fair for a new player. It's an easy game to play, right? But you need to have it be inviting for new players. And now that it's been out for a couple of years, like, they need to make it appealing for newer people to come in. Mm-hmm. Some people didn't like this idea, but I thought it sounded pretty cool.
I mean, if you can switch between the two, then, like, if you're a veteran player, you stay in wild and you're good to go, right?
That's my assumption, yeah.
No.
But, like, there's a card named Dr. Boom, and it puts out a really powerful guy. Like, he costs a lot and is tough to kill. And then he puts out 2 little guys, and when those kill, they shoot bombs randomly. So it's like a really powerful card because the guy in the middle is tough to kill, right? And does a lot of damage. And then these little bomb triggers can go off at any time, or whenever they're hit. They can send a bomb that can deal up to 4 damage, which could kill a main minion, could potentially end the game. It's a really powerful card, so if you play standard right now, you won't be able to use the Dr. Boom card, for example.
All right, yeah.
So it's just...
That'd be good for newbies.
Yeah, right? Or people that just haven't spent a lot of money on the game.
Yeah.
You know? Like people that aren't suckers like me. But it's cool. Like they're kind of learning as they're going, and trying to make the game remain relevant, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. And next in news, did you see that Doom has an official release date?
Yeah, I checked out that trailer.
I did not watch the trailer. How was it?
It looks cool. It looks like what people wanted Doom 3 to be. Like it was it looks like more the frenetic run and gun than the like Monster Closet, Too Dark to See Anything.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I saw Biff McSkylark on Twitter be unimpressed with the box art. And then I saw Cliffy B make a reference to the box art, and he's like, I wonder how many people will compare what they see in the Doom cover to Master Chief. Because apparently they look similar.
Huh.
But then in the tweet, Cliffy B was like, they don't realize that Doom was, what Master Chief was based on.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. You'll have to go to his account, check it out. But it just seemed like Biff wasn't alone in thinking that the box art was a little lackluster.
It's box art. Who cares?
Yeah,
You're gonna be playing the box art.
that's true. I saw a pretty funny.
Unless you get some really good LSD, you could probably play the box art then.
Yeah, I don't even know if it'd have to be that good. You know, just as long as you're seeing shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's good enough that you're getting visuals, then go for it. That's pretty funny. It happened again. My Wi-Fi cut out.
Aw.
So what that means is eventually... Okay. So we will stop the recording and then come back and I will edit everything. All right, everyone, and we are back. Yeah, I've got to figure out a different solution, Dustin.
Okay.
This is 2 weeks in a row that we've had my backup computer lose its internet connection. So I'm going to have to sacrifice one of my consoles or Roku or PC, something I'm going to have to sacrifice from my router to hardwire my laptop. So it'll probably be my PS4 because I never play that thing. So.
If it's got to happen, it's got to happen.
Yep. Now, I would rather have the podcast. Now, I'd rather have to not edit the podcast than have my PS4 hardwired. So.
You'd always just plug it in whenever you need it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll just leave all the cords there and whatnot.
Yeah. Or you could just go, I think mine's on Wi-Fi. I don't even think I have mine hardwired.
You don't even notice it? I mean, I'm right by the router, so it should be pretty good, right?
Yeah. It's not 2004 anymore.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and it's not like I'm playing Destiny competitively or anything like that, so.
Right.
Okay, so, yeah, it seemed like some people didn't care for the box art, but yeah, you're right. If you don't like box art, just eat some acid. You should be fine. Right. I did watch a pretty funny video today. Have you ever heard of the YouTuber I Hate Everything?
Mm.
He's pretty funny. And one of his videos was I hate DVD and game box art. And it was the same kind of stuff we've heard before, that you have some male protagonist with a gun for like everything, right? And he gave it some pretty good examples. He's like, BioShock Infinite. There's no reason to have Booker on the cover with a shotgun.
Yeah.
You know, with that game. Or Destiny. Like the original Destiny box art that they showed as a teaser had like kind of a moon or like a planet surface, and the word Destiny, you know, like a ominous ball. Like, it looked really neat, right? What came out? A bunch of dudes in capes that looked like Master Chief holding guns. You don't remember what the Destiny cover looks like? So Dustin is going to go into his video game vault. What do you got there? There it is, yeah, see?
Dudes with guns and capes.
Dudes with guns. He did point out BioShock, though. It seemed like those guys were aware with BioShock Infinite that their cover was bullshit because it's reversible. There's a really good cover if you flip it around.
Uh-huh.
I like reversible covers. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
A little hidden gem. So...
Hey, this one's reversible. If you want health information.
Some warnings.
Nothing like black text on white background.
There you go. So, yeah, I will put a link to the Kotaku article that says that Doom's coming out this May. And then check this out, Dustin. You probably can't read this. It's backwards. But it says
Mario.
Before Mario. So, it's a coffee table book, right?
Okay.
And it's French, but it's translated. Shit, what the hell's the name of the guy?
Jean-Luc.
Eric Voskuil, something like that. But anyways, it's a book about the stuff that Nintendo made before before they made video games, like all the toys and crap they made. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing that up is the Gaming Historian did a review of that book and just released it on his channel today. It's like a little 5-minute video. It's really, really a good, Gaming Historian doesn't have turds. Like, he just puts out good stuff, but it's a good review. And my sister got me that for Christmas, like last year or something.
I think he may be one of the only people who started out on YouTube when it got hot, like 10 years ago, and he's still doing the same thing.
It's just better.
Yeah.
Like his lighting's better, his camera's better, his mic's better. The content's the same, though. Like, the research is just as good as it's always been.
Everybody else, just like they stream or do something stupid now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still making, like, proper videos.
Yeah. Putting in, like, the time to edit and research and script and...
Yeah. Good on you, Norm.
Yeah, absolutely. We should, maybe he'll come on the podcast sometime. I should reach out to him. I don't know if he would or not. He seems like a super nice guy. I've heard him on other podcasts before.
Yeah.
So, who knows? So that is it for stuff in the news that caught my attention this week. Was there anything that you wanted to chat about? Anything that you had noticed?
Nope. I said I want to play The Witness.
Oh, dude, like, so I was, okay, we're going to reverse stuff this week.
All right.
The Witness is amazing. I've only still put like 3 hours or so into it, but I felt just completely stuck. I just could not figure out what to do in this particular puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I finally solved it about a half hour before we started recording.
All right.
And it felt amazing. And then I immediately ran into another puzzle that I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I have not been taught these mechanics yet. So I had to go back and realize that maybe I was a little further, or I was in a spot that I'm not ready to be in yet. Mm-hmm. So I went around and started exploring for something in the world to show me the mechanics that I need to learn to get past that next spot I was just at. And I don't know. I guess I'm so used to games being so enormous. Like, the idea of Arkham Knight just aimlessly wandering around to look for a solution sounds horrible. But there's just something about how much fun it is to just kind of walk around and you feel like a detective. And man, when you make progress and you feel like you've done something, it feels so good, even if you take 10 steps and then hit another wall. It's sweet. I don't know, like, I might hit a limit where I'm like, screw this, like, it's too hard, I can't do this anymore. Right? Like, that could happen. I might sour on the game. But right now, the first several hours I've played, I'm loving it. It is really fun. Have you watched much on it? I hope that you haven't, but...
No, I've stayed away from it completely.
I will say this. The Giant Bomb Quick Look does a great job of not spoiling anything, but giving you a sense of what's going on.
Okay.
Brad was really far in the game at that point, and Jeff hadn't even touched it. Like, Jeff hadn't seen a single pixel of the game other than demos. So as the release, they sat down in the quick look and started the game from there. So Brad was there to kind of prevent him from spoiling stuff, but showed some of the basics and then was able to help guide Jeff a little bit in the beginning.
Okay, cool.
So if you are curious and you want to see a video, there's a good 20 or 30 minute video on Giant Bomb that's going to give you a taste but not spoil anything.
Cool.
Man, it's sweet. I hope you get it, dude. Like, it makes me feel good just playing the game. I hope it doesn't get all dark and stuff. Maybe it will, but like, it's weird too. Like, you just want to know what's going on. It
sounds like it has layers too, kind of like Fez did.
Exactly. And that's why I try to go as dark as possible with The Witness, because I haven't seen the community and people talk about a game but not want to spoil it, but people work together to try to figure out puzzles and stuff, the way they did with Fez. So, like, there were no answers, so everyone was working together, right? So in this, there's no, like, tutorials, really. There's just... Like, it just felt like there was a groundswell of enthusiasm about the game and, like, trying to learn it on your own and not have to go to the internet.
Right.
But if you need to go to the internet, there's tips and tricks or just flat-out walkthroughs. And I wanted to be a part of that. So, it's been worth $40, man.
All right.
There's I did hear on the Bombcast a pretty funny term. It made Jeff Gerstmann's skin crawl. I don't know if you caught this, but the genre called AAA, like a AAA independent game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember Jeff, like, throwing up in his mouth a little.
Yeah. That is pretty stupid. It's cool to be in this transition, though, between these big, enormous games, right? And these smaller games. Like, it used to be so clear about what was what.
Yeah.
And the lines are just blurring so much that it's cool.
Yeah.
There's just such variety. And there was it was late at night. What was that called? Anyways, I'll find a link in the description, but I gotta find out. I gotta find what this was. Crap. So what I'm getting at is our buddy Zarek got into a comment battle on a video, and he was wrecking fools. What the hell was the name of the video? Something about campaigns dying or something like that. And it was these two girls talking about the fact that some developers have said that, look, single-player campaigns in like a Call of Duty or that kind of a game, or a Halo, that 75% of the cost of the game is going into the single-player campaigns, where the majority of the play happens in the online stuff. So there's a lot of companies that are looking to try to emulate the CSGO kind of model, right? So, you know, Star Wars Battlefront and stuff like that. Like, there's no campaign in Battlefront. But yet they're charging a full $60 for the game. And then they have really expensive season passes, right? So it's really expensive to buy these games, and you're getting potentially a lot less content. And Zarek pointed this out, and some people started disagreeing with him. And I'll put a link to that discussion. He was the top comment with, like, at the time, I'm sure he has hundreds of likes now, but he had like 90-some likes on this video. And then he was just line by line wrecking people that were disagreeing with him. And some people went back and deleted their comments because he made him look so foolish.
Man.
And one guy admitted he was wrong. Have you ever seen that on YouTube?
Never.
Yeah, one
Never
guy
on
was
the
like,
internet.
yeah, one guy was like, yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, this dude like called him out, like, do you even know how much like servers cost or whatnot? And then Sarek's like, obviously you don't know. So he like called his bluff, and then the guy went and did some Googling and found out that, you know, having servers for video games isn't as expensive as an entire development team making a single player campaign for a portion of the game that's not going to get played. So Zarek was frustrated because the game prices keep going up and the content's getting less, essentially. I think I have that basically right. And then when people would defend that position, he's like, are you crazy? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I will find the video and put a link to it. It's called Campaigns Doomed. Shooter campaigns too expensive. Yeah, it was cool. He says, so, in other words, they spend 75% less on the game and still charge full price. Oh, don't forget about your season pass that nearly doubles the cost of the original game. This is why I barely play any FPS games. So, it was fun watching him wreck people. He's a smart dude. So then also, I picked up Tomb Raider, or Rise of the Tomb Raider on PC. Because of you.
Sorry about that.
You got to stay away from Slick Deals, man. It's crack. But Slick Deals had...
Cheap crack, though.
It's cheap crack, so how can you say no? It's just a little. But Green Man Gaming had a mini sale on Tomb Raider, and then you sent me a link that had a coupon code for Green Man Gaming, and I got the game brand new, or close to release date, within just a couple of days of release, for $40. So I will get to The Witness and then get to that. I did fire it up.
Sweet.
My graphics card is struggling.
Oh, no.
Well, of course, I maxed it out, right? Just to see. But it plays really smooth on like medium, and it's a gorgeous game regardless. Like even on medium settings, you start off and you're in. I've played maybe 5 minutes of this game, so I'm not spoiling anything. You start off on like the top of a mountain, and it's like kind of like in a blizzard. And I just looked to the right over the landscape, and the sun coming through was just amazing.
Cool.
Like it's like, wow, what a pretty game, and it's supposed to be fun. You know, it should be at least as fun as the first one.
Yeah.
So, and then also I tried playing a little Dying Light because Dying Light: The Following comes out on Tuesday, which is like an enhanced version and has all the DLC and stuff. And because I've never played Dying Light, I don't know if I'm playing the extra stuff or not. Like, I'm confused on what I need to do in order to make a video that will satisfy Techland.
Right.
Because I like, if there's extra stuff I'm supposed to be playing, I don't want to play like the original and miss the new stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And like in the menus, it's not clear. So I'm confused. But I will have a Dying Light video up sometime this weekend. So thanks Techland for hooking us up.
That's right.
I hope that I do it well. I've heard Dying Light's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've watched people. Techland's getting this game out for preview to a lot of YouTubers. I've noticed a lot of guys like Rich at Review Tech. And other people using this gameplay as their video for their voiceover on like new stuff and opinion pieces. So they're really getting the game out there. So that's cool. And I've heard people say they really like it. So I'm looking forward to making the video. And it's like a 2-hour pre-release demo, essentially.
Cool.
So it'll turn off when the game's released. So hopefully, I just don't know if I'm doing the right recording or not, you know?
So play a bunch and record it, and then wait for it to turn off, and then go back and see what isn't there, and then you'll know what to put up.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get a little view whorish here. I would rather have something up before the release date to get views. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Like to know and go back. And I'll just admit that, hey, this is what's working. This is what I'm having fun with, what I'm not having fun with. And I'll just give my opinion based on the little slice that we were given. And
what could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? Not knowing what you're talking about on the internet. So, yeah, that's what I have been doing. So, what's been taking up your time gaming wise last week?
I played some more of The Order 1886. And there's some full frontal male nudity in that game.
Like just
because
a flaccid cock, just like, is it on a statue or like an NPC?
It's a dude.
Okay.
Yeah, we were running through Whitechapel, and we had to go through a brothel.
Okay.
And we hid in a room, and that room was occupied by people banging.
There you go.
And when we went in, the guy wasn't happy about it, so he went to get a gun.
Damn.
And I saw.
Well, that game has attention to detail.
That's right.
Zarek sent a link on Twitter. I don't know if you happen to notice it or not, but last week Zarek referenced Angry Joe going nuts about the detail on a lamp.
lamp.
Yeah. And I watched that section of the review, and he's not wrong. Like, it's an amazing looking lamp. And then he was blown away by a guy rappelling down a blimp, and like his feet would make impressions on the fabric of the blimp appropriately.
Oh yeah,
it just looked good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So did the penis scare you away? Did you only get like a few minutes in, or did you get?
No. I played another hour.
Okay.
One thing I don't like about that game is it doesn't subtitle the NPCs
At all?
So no. So like, I mean, like if your main character and someone else is having a conversation, you'll get subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
But if say a couple of NPCs are talking like beside you, it doesn't subtitle those.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and I'm trying to keep the volume down because I'm usually playing when someone's asleep, and I really don't want Solomon waking up and coming in and seeing like flipping werewolves tearing people apart or something.
Yeah, no, that's because I remember getting really scared when I was a kid, seeing some stuff from like 80s shitty horror movies. You know what I mean? Like if that will scare a kid, the shit in a video game like werewolves and stuff will like really get to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. You been playing anything else, or?
I don't think so. I think it was just the order.
Zarek also linked the video that he saw of you from years ago.
Oh no!
I watched it. It's your video showing how to take a like a gyromite cart.
Oh yeah.
And flip the pin connector the other way around so you can play Famicom games on your NES.
Sweet.
It was at like some weird site. Like, so you must have been like in a. I'll send you a link afterwards. Like, someone may have ripped off your video, or you were part of a community that you forgot about.
I probably got ripped off. I don't remember being a part of.
It's got like 5 stars and like 5,000 views and stuff.
Cool. I wonder if that went to my YouTube channel.
I don't know. I'll send you a link after we're done recording. So,
Word.
All right, everyone. Well, let's get into listener feedback and interaction. If you'd like to send us an email, you can do that at classicleet@gmail.com. That's classicl337@gmail.com. Or if it's more convenient for you, go to our YouTube channel and leave a comment on the video of the episode that you have an opinion about, and we will get to that. So I'm going to take Damez's comments, and then I'm going to get Mike's email real quick, and then I'll turn it over to you. So with our good buddy Damez, he comments and he says, "Here we go!" ! So I'm picturing him like cracking his knuckles, getting ready to watch the podcast, and then he usually comments a bunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got another comment where he says, "On movie voices, did you know that Howie Mandel was Gizmo, the Mogwai in Gremlins?" I did not know that.
Me either.
But that's where his comment stopped. So I hope he's okay. Usually he'll let us know what we got wrong or engage more. So it's weird. It's like he just went radio silent, like in the middle of a conversation,
Maybe he's just like, well,
they said
it's the pinnacle. I'm not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Just going to cut it out.
Or he's like, they said nothing this episode. I am not.
Right.
So, and then our good buddy Mike T over at the Cartoon Retrocast wrote in. And he said, "Hey all, I think my email will prove how far behind I am." And this is why I wanted to bring Mike's email up, and I wanted to read it. He says, "Scott, repeat after me. New, clee, Sorry, but I had to do it. Mike, I know I say nuclear wrong. It's my accent. Like, I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's like data and data, you know? I'm gonna say it wrong, man. So you can keep correcting me, but I don't know what to do. It's not intentional. So nuclear instead of nuclear. Yeah. So I say it wrong. Sorry, Mike. But he says, and he won't hear this for quite a while. So what he doesn't realize is he's gonna have to suffer through even more of my mispronunciations before he gets here, where he's real frustrated because I'm not fixing it.
Right, yeah.
It's just how I talk. But then he goes on to say, going back to when I said Dustin was unimpressed about Tomb Raider, you had mentioned excitedly that the new Tomb Raider would be out for PC soon. Dustin responded with complete silence. I laughed. Oh. Yeah.
I may have been like clearing my throat or something.
Could be. Or just not paying attention.
I may have dozed off for a moment.
You're just thinking about how to get the next Hagane.
Yeah, right.
So then he goes on to say, I was also convinced that they were called Berenstein bears. The nice family of Jewish bears that lived in a tree. When I was in my 20s, I was looking at a book, and I thought I had come across a copy that spelled it wrong. Coming to find out that I'd been wrong for over 20 years. My mind was blown. He says, I'm a couple episodes behind, and no more live shows for me because my kids' activities every evening. Because my kids have activities every evening, so be ready for emails talking about shows that have been long forgotten. That's fine. Email the Retro League's really good at that. They encourage people to still email about old topics.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, you're more than welcome to do that. I apologize now if I don't know what you're talking about, but I will.
That's the only downside. Is
but I'll be happy to read
recollection.
It. Exactly. And then he says, I haven't been playing any games, but I watched Star Wars Clone Wars, then followed by watching Star Wars The Clone Wars. Both series are really good. Mike T. So thanks, Mike. Good to hear from you, man. And again, dumbass, hope everything is all good. So we also got an email from our good buddy Kevin, formerly of the Para Nerds, Canadian correspondent.
That's right.
What's he have to say, Dustin?
Okay, first email, which is titled Sober. He says, hello again. I'm back this time with a more sober email. I was not drunk last time, but I had not slept due to the little one, so I was mildly delirious. I was listening to your podcast while lying in bed and thought, I haven't written to those guys in a while. In other words, we technically slept together.
Awesome.
Anyways, I find the whole commentary on commentary thing amusing because for our first 100 podcasts, the joke was we went back to the original podcast. This sounds like a great idea, but hearing us talking as past selves and talking live created an audio mess. Although I've worked too hard to give up on the idea, I'm also incredibly lazy. Question, would you guys spend money on this thing? And then he shows a picture down below.
Okay, I'm clicking on it now. Not what they're asking for, but I would spend money on those for sure. They are they're Game & Watches. They're Donkey Kong 2 and Donkey Kong. I didn't even know there. Is that the only Donkey Kong 2 that exists? Because it went Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3 in the arcade. There was never a Donkey Kong 2 in the arcade that I'm aware of. You've got the Donkey Kong 2?
I don't have Donkey Kong 2.
But you have the Donkey Kong one?
This is Mickey and Donald Game & Watch.
Okay, I don't have a Game & Watch. Dude, you'll have to look that up because what Kevin sent us here, Donkey Kong 2 is going for $70 at the store, and the straight Donkey Kong's going for $90. Shocker that you've got another little gem there.
Hey, I found out I actually have DVDs that are worth something.
That exists? I thought DVDs were worthless, except for...
It's DVDs of anime. Like I have different Gundam series.
Oh, okay,
They
yeah.
go for like hundreds of dollars now because they're out of print.
Damn.
It even came with a box.
Nice. Good find. Where did you get that locally, or did you find it online?
I found that at a thrift store in North Carolina. So
Hell
I've had it for
yeah.
a while.
Nice.
I think I paid like 45 for it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, let's see. Kevin is looking at a Donkey Kong and a Donkey Kong 2 Game and Watch for 89.99 and 69.99 respectively. So that's expensive.
That's Canadian though. It's still expensive. It'd still
So what would
probably
that be
be.
like 50 and 60 ish?
If I
40
were
and
to
60?
guess, yeah, maybe 60 and 70.
Damn
I mean,
space money.
our our uh, our economy is not that great, so it can't be that much stronger than Canadian currency.
I always think back to the price differences from magazines in the 90s.
It always reminds me of books more than magazines.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever have what they call that? A bunch of crates of books that would open up almost like studio gear for like a rock band,
Hmm.
and it was just filled with books. What the hell was that called? Book fair. Book fair. Did you guys have
Oh, yeah.
book fairs?
Uh-huh.
And then you could buy books and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a little expensive. And those games are basically like the Mattel. Uh,
watches and like
yeah, they're really simple.
those Tiger Electronic baseball games, or
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to think of.
yeah.
Tiger Electronics.
I had a Bart Simpson watch that I wish I still had. That was one of these LCD games. And I had a Batman watch that had an LCD game on it. I
Cool.
liked the Batman game. But yeah, Kevin, unless you want it for just your collection, if you're looking to get gaming enjoyment out of it, I would probably say pass.
Yeah.
But if it's something you want for your shelf, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah. Same. Anyways, keep up the good work. Oh, hold on. Did I read the? I've been kind of planning on buying these, but like your opinions. Okay, yeah, that's basically what we just did. Um, I blame Dustin. Okay, he said also if I do spend money and don't like it, I blame Dustin on his suggestion, making fun of me for feeling anxiety about Annie
Yeah.
buying the order. Anyways, keep up the good work. Typos left in due to laziness, Kevin. And then he goes on in Sober 2, the sequel. He says, forgot to mention, keep the crappy Canadian currency in mind when talking about buying those things. Seriously, converted on air, it's ridiculous how expensive games are for us Canadians. Almost $100.
Okay, he asked for doing it on air, so I'm going to do that.
While you're doing that, you want me to read Zarek?
Yes. So,
Okay.
anyways, thanks, Kevin, for writing in, and $65 for so 90 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
In today's market is about $65 US.
Okay.
That's pretty big. It wasn't just a couple years ago. We were even Stevens with Canada. I'm surprised you pulled back ahead like that. I blame BlackBerry.
Yeah, same here. Let's see here. Zarek. Zarek says, my head was dancing with the intro to this one. You got me. If a game isn't done, it shouldn't be released. I'm in favor of delays, but that doesn't excuse incompetence. They've done and said things that makes it seem like the game was delayed because of stupid reasons. He's talking about Mighty Number 9.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Why did they try to kickstart a second game already? Most people are saying they need to finish the game people already paid for first. They can't think of a reason Concept would already be working on a second game when their first one isn't done. I can think of a few reasons for this, but I'm more level-headed than most people. For example, some people at the studio can be fully finished with Mighty Number 9. They may have nothing further to offer the game with their particular skill set, so they started working on another game to prevent downtime. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it's a distinct possibility.
Sure, like artists, for example. Like,
Yeah.
when the art's done or whatnot, or the engine builders,
Mm-hmm.
Music.
Music.
Yeah. So I want to jump in on this just real quick. I forget where I heard this, but I was listening to a podcast that said that a lot of these Mighty Number 9 delays, it might have been the Bombcast, are due to online stuff. No, it wasn't. It was kind of funny. It was Colin Moriarty
Okay.
complaining about it. And he's like, well, what the hell? Like, it's a Mega Man game. What are they messing with online shit for? Scrap the online. If that's what's holding it up, put the last little polish on and release it as a single-player game and patch in online stuff later. But
Leaderboards.
there could be leaderboard stuff, and then he also mentioned that maybe that's not a possibility. Maybe it'd be too expensive to patch the game in, so it's more financially responsible to delay the game until the whole package is done versus patching in a large segment of the game later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely. I think it was the PlayStation podcast that they do. PSXOXO, I love you. Yeah. Which, did you realize do you remember when we interviewed Colin that he said that we have something really big coming up that I know people are going to love?
I remember that.
It was it's the PlayStation podcast, because that's where they basically got famous, was Podcast Beyond at IGN, and they launched their own PlayStation podcast, kind of harking back to what their core fans really knew them from. So we got he wouldn't tell us what it was, but that's what it was, and now it's been really successful. So it was neat to have a little insight there, you know?
Yeah.
So
We got the scoop, is basically what you're saying.
almost, kinda. I mean, he wouldn't tell us what it was, but
We basically inspired him to do it.
pretty there you go.
Yeah.
So, okay, so he's got more to say here.
He says, I thought I was the only one who remembers Flight of the Navigator.
No way. That showed up randomly in the Cartoon Retrocast Facebook feed, too. So, Zarek, you're not the only one, my friend.
Your talk of cyberpunk games reminds me of an old Dreamcast game. I can't remember the name of it. I sometimes think I hallucinated the whole thing. I remember this cyberpunk detective game. It had a Blade Runner noir feel to it. I really wish I could remember the darn game. I've been trying to remember it for over a decade. I did a little Googling. It's probably not it, because if you could just Google it for 5 minutes and find it, you probably would have, considering you've been trying to remember it for a decade. But I know there was a game called Omicron the Nomad Soul. So take a look at that and see if that's it. But again, if it's not, I wouldn't be surprised, because if you've been looking for it for a decade, you probably tried Google once or twice. He goes on to say, Tropic Thunder was an amazing movie.
Yes.
I saw The Witness when it released on Steam. It looked beautiful and somewhat interesting. The puzzles in the preview looked boring, but I was willing to give it a try. Then I saw the price. I passed on that. It looked like a cheap, simple game, so I didn't want to risk that much money.
It's fair.
Oh, okay, yeah. Everyone pay attention to this next portion. The snowed-in pun divorce scare was hilarious. I guess there's no place like home. She really gave you.
That's a good one.
She really gave you snow quarter. That was snow laughing matter. You made the right decision to dial the puns back, because hell hath snow fury like a woman scorned.
That's good. Tip of the hat to you there, Zarek. That was excellent.
That's great. You were indeed on camera for some of your old content. I saw an unboxing video. I'll tweet it to you guys to prevent flagging. I'm getting XCOM 2, by the way. I'm already putting Scott in the game. Right. You don't have a choice. You're going to be in the squad. Let me guess your character's nickname. Is it Vogue Nasty? Great video, guys.
Sweet. Thank you. Oh, so I saw that he had commented, but I didn't read all the way to this last part. So Zarek put out a video on his channel, and he's letting all of his subscribers leave comments under the video so they can be in the game whenever someone dies. Like, so he can make new characters with all of his subs.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through, and there were no female entries. Every single person went through and said they wanted to be male, and then you could pick your nationality and like skin color and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm like, this is a bunch of dudes. I want a female. I want to be named Smurfette. I want you to give me blue skin if possible, or white hair or a white hat. And I want to be American. So he said, you got it. So I didn't realize he was definitely going to put us in the game already. He had hinted in the video that there were other YouTubers that he was going to put in. So I was hoping he meant us, but I wasn't sure. So I wanted to comment to make sure that we got a full submittal just in case, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's an excellent idea for a series. I remember in the first game, when XCOM Enemy Unknown came out, not the first one in the series, but the XCOM Enemy Unknown that came out a couple years ago. Bick Skylark made a character of me.
Cool.
And put me in the game. It felt good. He tweeted a picture of it. So I thought that was awesome. So I look forward to watching Zarek play that. I've never played an XCOM game for more than a little bit, so I'll enjoy. I'm not interested in getting it, but it's gotten great reviews. I think Polygon gave it a 9 out of 10.
I hope we make it.
So I'm like, we will. So I'm excited to watch him play that. I think it's going to be a good series. So, yeah, man, Dustin, at this point, anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap stuff up?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, sweet. Well, everyone, again, our email address is classicleet@gmail.com. That's classic L337. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. You can do it through Stitcher. You can do it through iTunes. Google Play has started to have podcasts show up, Dustin. So anytime now, we should be in Google Play, so you can subscribe there in the near future.
We'll be famous.
We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, most importantly, YouTube. And if you Google us, there's sites that have stolen our stuff, so you can watch our crap there too.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Anyways, again, thank you everybody very much for listening. And for this week's intro music, I want to thank Ben Landis very much for letting us use his song Through the Forest as our intro music. And to send everybody off this week, I've got another song from Rock a Bit, and this is called Tom Chi LTC 1A Temptation. It's free to download on a SoundCloud page, so I will embed that in the show notes, available at classicelite.com. Also, if you just like to use RSS feeds, you don't want to use Stitcher or iTunes, you've got your own podcast catcher, just go to classicelite.com and you'll be able to find our RSS feed and subscribe that way. So, actually, that's how I check to see if the feed's working, as I don't use Stitcher or iTunes, I use my own podcast catcher. So, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Hopefully you enjoy this song. I think it's pretty cool. It was made on an Atari STE, and we will see you next week for episode 172.
Boosh!